I'm going to pass you on to Maria, who's going to be focusing on the build features. Thank you.
Thanks, Sean. Can you see my screen there okay?
Yep, that's great.
Yep.
Perfect. Okay. So, so following on from Sean, then I'm just going to be covering the new releases in Autodesk Build over the last year as well as AU just gone. So there has been quite a number of them, and I don't have time to show each one in detail, but I'm just going to go through the ones that we feel have made the most difference to our customers in terms of day-to-day working and overall project management. So just to show you how Build works, again, just like Sean mentioned, it's underpinned by your document management, so Autodesk Docs, where all your files are stored. You have your Insights area, which allows you to analyze all the data being input into the platform. And this means then that you have better insight into what causes disruption or delays, what are common issues when it comes to safety or quality, and it allows you then to address them. So you have a really robust administration section then with a lot of member permissions. So you can make sure that so the project members will only see what you have given them access to. And then here you can see in more detail the different types of information that's captured in, that you can capture in Build. So again, you have your document management, you have your cost management, which Jonathan is going to cover after me, and you have your project management, quality, safety, and project closeout. So really throughout the whole construction life cycle. Now, so starting with sheets, with the introduction of collections, it allows the users to firstly create up to 200 of them, 200 collections, but also to group your sheets into these collections. And then this means that drawings with identical names can be uploaded without having to manually rename them. The collections can be accessed on the desktop or on site in your app, and they can be moved from one collection to another, and you can also bridge them from one to another. So searching the sheets is now easier with searching for a keyword. All the sheets containing that keyword will be filtered. Now, as well as that, you can save your searches so that when logging onto the project again, that saved search is already there for you to run. You don't have to enter in all your values again. And project administrators can also share saved searches with other team members, either individually by role or by company.
That's a great feature, the collections, Maria. What would be
Absolutely.
an example of where that has differed from before?
Yeah, so like before when you were uploading your sheets to the platform or publishing the sheets, you would just have them all in this one area. And now you did have your version set, you have your tag and your discipline to be able to search for the sheets, but this is just like an added bonus almost. I mean, you can see how it looks there on the app. Yeah. They're just so much better organized. And it just means when you're out on site, you're not filtering through them. You can just go into collection and select them straight away. It just makes it so much easier to find what you're looking for.
It's a great feature. So it is,
absolutely. Yeah. Okay, so moving on to issues then. So users can delete issues that they've created, but they'll still be able to see them in a deleted issues log. GPS coordinates now can be added to issues, so that can help you locate them on site. And it also allows you to see an overall map of your issues and see where each one of them are located. And now similarly to what Sean was mentioned there, to issues and model coordination, when you're creating an issue in a 3D model here in Build, it automatically saves a thumbnail. And in that thumbnail then you can add markups to it and save it so that that thumbnail will then be exported as part of your issue reports. They can be imported in bulk using an Excel file, reducing the time in creating all of these issues manually in the system. Now, staying with issues, the templates can now be created in projects with some of the information already filled in, allowing less time spent creating them, and then these issue templates are now included in project templates as well. Due dates can be added to issue templates, and this is populated by stating the number of days allowed for the issue to be addressed. And when exporting out a detailed issue report, you can specify which fields that you would like included in your report. So it just means that you can export out the exact information that you're looking for. Now onto forms. In the Account Admin Library section, you can create your form template there and then publish multiple forms to your projects or your project template, in one go. If you have a form already created in one project and you want to create another, you can just import it in. And if you have forms already done in the, say, the older generation BIM 360 field, you can import that as well. So it just means you're just saving so much time and having to redo this work manually over and over again. Now, a huge advantage of using the blank template when it comes to forms is that you can specify a required question. So the form cannot be submitted until that question has been answered. You can also add conditional logic to your items. So here in a safety work areas form, if the answer to this particular question is no, it requires the user to create an issue. Now you can set the issue type so that when the user goes to fill out that form and then create the issue, it's already set to, as you can see here, safety infraction. And once they fill out the details, the issue is captured in your main issues area, but it's also shown as a reference to the work areas form. Now onto photos. So when downloading the project details to your mobile device, you can manage the amount that you download. So in terms of storage, it's a good way of managing. Now this applies to photos, so where you can select the time frame that these photos have been captured. And in the photos area, similarly to the issues, you have a GPS location of each photo that has been taken. So in the gallery then you can see the pin location of every single photo that you've taken as part of the project. Now moving on to RFIs. So with the RFIs you can now add multiple reviewers to a workflow. And then you can save those closed RFIs to your files area. Now in the files you can also select a markup and you can escalate it to an RFI by creating a new one or by linking it to an existing one. And so with saving the closed RFIs to your files area, these RFIs can now be bridged to another project and they can be exported as part of your O&M file at handover. Now, there could be a last-minute request from a client, or the person who submitted the RFI may require more information. So without having to create a new RFI all over again, you can just return it to the reviewer. You can create multiple different RFI types with one or multiple reviewers already assigned, so that obviously quickens the process of creating them and submitting them. Also standardizing your workflows as well. Now moving on to submittals. So the ball in court can now be assigned to a role or a company instead of a single project member. So this automatically includes more members in the workflow without having to add them all individually. You can reference a submittal to another submittal, and items that have been closed without being reviewed can be reopened to start the workflow again. So obviously without having to just create a new submittal all over again. Now, similarly to the RFIs, closed submittals can be saved to your files area. And again, you can bridge these to another project, and similarly with your O&M file, they can be included in those in the handover. Now, more submittal APIs have been added, which means you have more ways in which to analyze the data being input into these submittals. Now with the schedule, so your schedule which can be imported from your Microsoft project, Primavera 6 or Asta Power project. So it's a game changer in terms of linking tasks in the schedule to other areas within your platform. And it gives you the ability to analyze the cause of the likes of project delays and cost impacts as well. Now project members have the ability to view the most up-to-date Gantt charts out on site, as well as being able to suggest changes to the schedule through the app. The assigned schedule manager can filter the suggestions table as needed, and then these can be exported out to Excel to allow collaboration with externals. So staying with the schedule, the platform allows for multiple schedules to be imported and managed. The schedule can be updated and re-imported, meaning you have a history of all versions and you can compare these versions. And by updating the schedule, all team members have access to the most up-to-date timeline in the browser and on the app as well. And each user has the option to organize it however they want, by day, week, month or year. Now, by utilising cost management, which Jonathan is going to cover after this, individual tasks can be referenced to the list of cost items that you can see here. And lastly then, you can link a form to a task so that when on completion, members can see this quality form is to be completed. So again, it can just standardise your workflow. Now, assets. So assets are so versatile when it comes to organising and manage your various equipment, your materials and your tools. You can now import your assets from a Revit model, so reducing the task of adding them all manually. By assigning assets to tasks in the schedule or locations, you can track their movement and usage. And when it comes to plant equipment, you can track maintenance scheduling as well. So these can be added and tracked on multiple sheets. By being able to change the status of these assets, it ensures easier tracking of their progress. So you can see the floor construction here as an example.
Assets is it has come on leaps and bounds, and what we've tailored it as well, because we've had requests by customers to track their plant, and we've had the ability to track their company plant, what sites they're assigned to, what costings are associated with those pieces of plant, so that they can track on a monthly basis the amount of money spent on hired equipment or their own equipment or hired equipment that are on sites. We've even focused in on the HR and employees, where we've stored their Safe Pass certificates, all their records as well are all stored in a secure location within ACC.
Yeah, it's really great, and that's what I'm saying. Like, they're so versatile in that you can use it really to manage any aspect of your project at all.
Yeah, they're really good. I was going to say, we actually we presented a class last year at AU specifically on the assets module and how we use them. If anyone's interested, go and have a search for that. It talks about, the plant and using it for managing certifications and things like that.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Yeah. Okay, so similarly to scheduling tasks, you can reference a form template to an asset. So locating the correct form for the likes of sign-off can be made that bit easier. Now onto your reports. So previously, once a report had been generated, it could be sent as a downloadable link, whereas now you can choose to send it as an attachment, and making it easier to share with non-project members. Reports can be scheduled to run at specific times, but that was usually up to the project administrators. But now any project team member can schedule their own report. So this means that they can extract the information they're looking for whenever they want, without having to wait for the project admin to do it. Now, so onto the Build homepage, which was recently introduced. So this is specific to each user, giving them an overview of their project with quick links, recent activity, and assigned tasks. Now, it's constantly gathering data captured in the project. So action items and recent activity are constantly up to date. So you're always seeing the most recent information in your project. Now, the Hub My homepage shows a user-friendly interface that consolidates all of your project-related information, including your project map locations, items that are assigned to you, recently viewed items, and even personal bookmarks that you can store here. And this is designed to provide quick access to items that are overdue or that need action. Now, so with AI at the forefront of most conversations now being talked about at AU, and as Steve just said in his chat there with Richard, Autodesk are really looking more into the development of this. So ACC has had its own AI tool built in for a while, this is called Construction IQ. So here is where you can customize your dashboards to easily interpret project data. Now you can monitor your project performance in real time, and it helps to identify trends or areas in your project that need improving. Now, instead of having separate silos for all of your information, your data is collected in one place. So you have everything there all together. And because of that, you can extract it and choose how you want to analyze it. So with the likes of the Power BI template gallery that you can see here. So there are a number of templates already stored here in the ACC platform. You can download those, you can open it up in Power BI, you can extract all of your project information, bring it into bring it into Power BI using these templates. You can really analyze your data. Now, and I know we've worked with a couple of customers as well, so you can use these to build onto as well. So you can use these as a foundation and add more kind of dashboards and graphs, and you can really customize it to how you want to analyze the information. And obviously these are always being updated, and more are always being added as well. And so yeah, that is it. Thank you very much.